Make us believe.
So call me a man on a mission. I'm guilty by my own admission. Locked up but I break free. No change could ever take me. Can't stop, won't stop, don't stop.
Welcome to the Shipsgonnahappen podcast. My name is Tony B. In the studio, David B. And Timmy D's back from Las Vegas. And he's got a couple dollars short, but he's back. Our views are purely news-driven and do not express the views of any transportation provider or any business entity that uses any transportation provider. It's just three guys with 70 years of experience discussing transportation news and topics that affect the industry that brings the products straight to our docks or doors. We do it for the transportainment side of things, Timmy D. The transportainment side of things.
Boom.
Yep. You can catch us on our home base, shipsgonnahappen.com, Twitter, Rumble, which is exploding, Facebook, iTunes, and SoundCloud too. Today's topics, we've got a great interview with a driver named Jacinda that's out in Yuma, Arizona. Jacinda Duran, and you can catch her on YouTube. Our other topic is the month of January, and we'll do a little Monkeys on the Loose update. David B., good morning.
Good morning, Producer Tony. Good morning, Timmy D. Beautiful Saturday morning to the both of you. Today's show brought to you by The Great Divide, 743 East New York Street, downtown Indianapolis. Great place to go and catch some music, good food, some beverages, and just to kind of relax after a long week of Ship's Gonna Happen. Timmy D, how was Vegas? How were you? How was life? How was everything, my friend?
Well, Tony put it very well. Come back a little short. I'm going to tell you.
I gotcha.
There's a reason why they can build the palaces they build out there, you know. It's good to be out and about with people, and Vegas is always, just always have loved it. I don't know what it is, but it had been a couple of years. I think last time I had been there for a 40th birthday a couple of years back. So good to get back. Stayed at a couple of hotels, kind of poured around between a couple of hotels just because of the rates, and I just really truly enjoyed it. So good to see you guys, and it's a lot of snow on the ground, and I got to tell you what, you got to check out the Facebook page, boys. I took a picture coming into the studio this morning of Tony B's grass. And you can still see the lines are perfect in his grass from the grass.
With all that snow on
from the snow on top. It's amazing.
Well, thank you.
So, good morning. I'm excited to have Jacinda on here, man.
Yeah.
Like, Yuma, Arizona. That's awesome, right? This is going to be good stuff.
It's early out there.
It is.
Yeah. Jacinda, you on? There you go. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Thank you guys for having me on. I'm doing well, thank you. Yes, it's earlier, not early, but earlier, yes.
Yes.
Nice surprise from you guys this morning.
So how's your weather in Yuma this morning, Jacinda?
Don't rub it in.
It's windy. I can definitely say it's chilly and windy.
Oh, okay.
Chilly? When
What's
you
your
say chilly?
definition of chilly? Yeah, what do you mean by chilly?
Chilly, probably 50, not like Indianapolis
Oh, my
chilly. I can tell you that, okay?
It's zero here.
There we go.
I thought she was referring to a pot of chili is what I was thinking. As cold as I was, you know me, I'm always looking for food.
There you go.
Beans and chili.
Jacinda, we want to thank you for being on the show this morning. We kind of follow you on Facebook, and we watch your YouTube videos, and you definitely got a lot of energy. And you know, one of the things that we notice is that how well you bring the trucking community together. You know, you let everybody tell their story, and you tell a good story, and it's just a nice platform. Can you describe how you got into the industry and to where you're at today?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Well, I'm a third generation lady trucking, so I was born in the trucking industry.
Oh, wow.
And both parents, grandparents all drove trucks, from buses to semi trucks and things like that. And just from being around it, I had developed an unknown passion until I became an adult. Obviously, I'll be honest, I hated trucking because I was always in the truck with my mom, okay? Mm-hmm. So I never thought I would do trucking. And, I had been in a career at FedEx Express for 12 years as a courier. The women were like, Jay, how come you don't come drive trucks? I never thought about it. And believe it or not, as soon as I got into the semi trucks, I loved it. And good thing my kids were, in their last years of high school, because I couldn't wait to get out on the road. And it just developed very quickly, the passion, the liking. And this is a great little story. So a lot of people don't know this, okay? In the trucking industry, there are temp agencies for truck drivers, okay?
Really?
For people looking for different jobs or just looking to try different things. Well, when I was a FedEx courier, I had delivered payroll to a trucking temp agency. And so when I wanted to pursue my trucking career, I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. And I wasn't about to just hop in some truck and go. Okay. So I went to this temp agency and I had told them I did everything and I didn't. Okay.
Right.
But that's how I learned. Obviously, you kind of see how spontaneous I am anyway. I would tell them, give me any job, give me a different job every day. I don't care. And what I would do is, for instance, my first time doing flatbed, I'd never done flatbed. So I went and YouTubed it. And then when I went
You
to the
YouTubed
customer,
how to do how to drive a flatbed and what about what?
Yes. It was like learn on site. Okay. When I would get to the job, I would tell them, show me how you want me to do it here. What?
Wow.
Show me how you want me to haul your freight on your flatbed here. And I would learn and I would take off and go.
Wow.
So you YouTube how to like tie things down, how to hold the strap. I mean,
Yeah. So yeah, I would look at the distance, how far the straps should be from each other with how much weight to how much freight is on. And that's how I learned. So my whole point is saying that in branding myself and deciding to share my journey in trucking was being able to show different jobs that I'm doing every day, different trucks that I'm driving every day. And that's where I started my social media page because I believed it was catching because I was doing and driving something different every day, which really hadn't been seen yet.
Well, that's genius. I mean, well done. Well done
Okay.
to have well done to have the wherewithal to think about
that's
doing that.
amazing to me. I'm
Yeah.
just if you could see my face, I know, of course, I got a face for radio for a reason, but if you could see my face right now, just mind blown.
I like your pageant questions. Bring them. I got all the answers. Come on.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely have all the answers.
Holy smokes!
Wow. Have you ever thought about teaching the younger people to get into trucking and to pass along your enthusiasm and everything? I mean, you would be a great teacher.
In time, I'll be honest, I know my goals, but I'm not sure where my journey is taking me.
Understood.
Two different perspectives, okay? I know what I want to do and what my goals are, but sometimes life and God has other ideas for you.
Exactly.
So I'm open to that. And my gift is people, my passion is trucking, and I have found the way to put them together to get me around this world, to spread my passion for trucking in the truck.
I would say
That's how I look at trucking.
I mean, listening to you so far and watching your videos, I would say the passion that you have is definitely your gift too. I mean, you just excel with your passion and your excitement and your enthusiasm.
And it's
just
tough to
meet
do right now. And this
Yeah.
industry, as frustrating as it is and capacity as it is, it's tough to have passion still, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I know this. Go ahead, David B. I know you got some questions for her. So I just think that's awesome that you're right. Her passion is still there. You can hear it right now in her voice and being enthusiastic and ready to roll. And it's got to be like 4 a.m. in Yuma, Arizona. So
How would you like to have her for a driver? Right?
holy
Definitely.
smokes!
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you did.
When you can find your talents and your gifts and your blessings and put them together, there's nothing better. That's where I call it spiritual freedom.
So
I'm very
Every time
free
I
in
wake
my
up
spirit
and look
at
in the
this
mirror, I
moment
see
in
those
my
same
life.
things.
And I love sharing it. And if I can make people feel good, that it makes me feel good.
Were your mom and dad like this when they were driving trucks, or?
I've been an enigma my whole life. Take
I
that
gotcha.
little word for
Yeah,
you.
no,
Okay?
yeah. No, we're not. Yeah,
That's
You
way
believe
above
that?
my vocabulary.
An enigma, just always, ready to go. My Hispanic family here in Yuma, they tell me, Mija, nothing surprises us. They just know me. I jokingly tell my mom when I was born, I got out and I dusted myself off and I said, thank you for the vessel. I just needed to get here. Now I got shit to do.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, well said. Dang, you ought to just be a motivational speaker. Is what you ought to be, if anything. Well done. Well done. So, what else? Let's talk about your family. I mean, your dad? Your dad was an inspiration to you, isn't he? Or
Yes.
yeah, I mean, he definitely seen watching your videos and stuff. You definitely give him a lot of credit to your success and stuff. So,
Does he still drive?
No, my dad passed a few years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry to hear
But
that.
here in Yuma, that's where we all are. My dad taught me strength and no fear. Okay. Growing up, I was an only child for very many years.
Me too.
So I didn't have a choice many of what I was to do. He said, do this, I did it fearlessly. Okay, from riding quads, from when I was about 3 years old to, the boats in the summer. It was just do this. And he would tell me, you always got to be 15 seconds ahead of everyone else so they don't get over on you. And it was just that quick mentality that I was taught that has led to my success and my survival out here on the road.
Well, that's
okay?
awesome.
If you think you're going to get me, you better come 30 seconds ahead because it's not going to happen.
Nice.
Okay?
Well said.
And,
Put her on tape delay so I can be 30 seconds ahead because I don't think I'm going to get there.
Out on the road when people ask me, aren't you afraid of what? My mottos are, I'm cautious, but I'm not afraid. I'm friendly, but I'm not welcoming. If I don't like something, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah, that's So probably one of your phrases too is don't underestimate don't think my kindness is associated with weakness, because you definitely don't have a weak bone in you probably.
So I developed a lot of navigating skills, which I've also passed on to my kids. I don't worry about them being taken advantage of out here. You literally have to physically grab them and take them.
Yeah. Wow.
How many kids do you have? You have your own kids?
So believe it or not, I'm about to turn 43 years old here real soon. Okay. And I have a daughter who's going to be 24. She just became a registered nurse this past year.
Congratulations.
And my boy Shane, he'll be 21, and he's the third-year cadet in the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. So my kids are killing it. Another aspect of spiritual freedom, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank your son. Thank your son for his service for us, if you would, please.
So as passionate as I am about trucking is where my energy was when I was parenting my children. All or nothing in everything I do, and it works.
With all your passion, I can just hear it in your voice and all the energy in you. How does that work for getting behind the wheel of a cab of a truck and taking off from Yuma to wherever your destination may be? That's got to be tough for you. I can't see you sitting down in a seat very long and just chilling.
Well, I stop a lot. As you know, I travel with my dog. Okay, so as high energy as I am, we stop every few hours and I get out and play with my dog. I also do a lot of radio talking. I'm a CB singer and a CB talker for real. Okay.
Oh, what's your CB?
What's her handle?
Yeah, what's your handle? Whatever
Lady
they call
Truckin'.
it. Lady Truckin'.
And it's funny because when you talk as much as I do, people will just recognize your voice. Lady Truckin', is that you? Sure is. Where you at, Truckin' fam?
Yeah.
So go ahead, David.
So do you have a favorite song you like to sing, or a favorite genre of music that you kind of like to belt out, or is it you just whatever comes to your mind?
I like all music, I'll be honest. It depends on what vibe I'm setting. And that's what I always try to tell people. Set your vibe. I have usually a morning song that I'll share. Set your vibe and where you want to be in your day. It's up to us to set our mental.
Nice.
Okay? I get up and I turn on music immediately. Literally, I roll over and push play on my iPad. And when I say get it, I mean it. Get your ass up and get it. Let's go.
So go back to the CB real quick. So
can you come wake my household up?
So Jacinda, getting back to the CB thing, do people still? When I was a kid, I'm in my early 50s. It seemed like Breaker 19 was a big thing, right? And do people still use Channel 19, or is that changed? Is it still a big media?
I would say it's a hit or miss.
Okay.
Honestly, I wish more people did. In my own opinion, the older generation still does.
Okay.
Because when you get relayed or responses, I would say are usually, older people. My age or older. I'd call them old schoolers out here. Because I've yelled at young people too, and then the older people will come and say, "Probably don't got no goddamn radio." No, probably not. But he understood the finger.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Universal. It's universal.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, no, I wish more people did honestly have the radio. It's huge. It could save a lot of incidents by being able to relay what's ahead or what's past, things like that. That's something I definitely emphasize. Even if you're not comfortable talking, listen. And if you don't like what's being said, turn it down for a little bit. Come back later.
You listen to the Shipsgonnahappen show with the Lady Truckin' talking about her singing in the mornings.
So Jacinda
coming at ya.
Coming at you live, Yuma, Arizona.
Jacinda, being out on the road. I mean, how have you seen trucking evolve over the years? I mean, has it been getting better, or do you think things are worse on the roads, or how would you describe the state of trucking right now?
I think it's a constant evolution, and just like anything in life, you need to take what's applicable towards you, what can benefit you, or learn from what's not at this point. It's constantly evolving, and that's something I ask the old timers, if you've seen in some of my interviews, like, how do you feel? You've been in the industry this long. How do you feel about it? It's changing regardless. And like anything, you can fight it or you can roll with it. What can we do?
Right. That's a good attitude. Yeah. Good job.
Being a woman in trucking, how hard has that been for you? And what do you think the industry can do to attract more women in the industry?
I'm going to tell you what I say. Okay, you ready for this? You
We're
ready
ready.
for this one?
I don't know. Are we?
Are you guys ready for this?
Shipsgonnahappen podcast show. I'm not really sure if we're ready for the lady trucking here.
We're all sitting down, so I think we're ready.
I think it's just like any other career. A bank, the auto parts store, a cab driver. It's a career, okay? I'm not a vagina flexer, okay? I'm a strong woman that drives a truck.
Boom. There's your transportainment right there.
Yep.
Okay. Those are my words. You guys hear me, right? And
Yeah.
I didn't say it, and I would never repeat it.
Those are my words. I'm not vagina flexing out here. I'm a strong, beautiful woman that drives a semi-truck.
Nice.
Like any
By
other
YouTubing it.
Okay?
Well said.
To each his their own, but you will not find me with pink gear or anything like that.
But how do you go out? How do we go out and get more women in trucking? I think is what Tony wants to know. How did you get attracted? It's obviously your parents, but how can you? What would be your message to people in the world looking to try to get more truck drivers and get the women involved in that? What can we do as an industry to get more women involved? How do we do that?
For me personally, I can only speak for myself, is sharing my journey. I have women all the time tell me, you make me want to get into trucking. By sharing the freedom of it is the biggest attractor, okay? Whether, you have families or not. To me, I recommend if you don't, but if you want to get out and see the country, utilize that though. I think the freedom attracts people, and maybe even if we're talking specifically about women, independence. We'll go towards that factor, right? Say you've been in the same life, you've done your kids, you've been blah, 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 and you want to get out and have freedom. Come on over to trucking. But don't get it twisted. People say they're going to get into trucking, and I just shared this message to see the country. Well, get your ass out and see the country. You have to make that happen. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Driving a truck is not seeing the country. You're driving the country. You're not seeing the country.
Wow.
So if
I
you're
like
getting
that.
into trucking to see the country, get your ass out and explore. You have to make stuff happen. And that's where my motto comes in.
So do you
make every day an adventure? You
So-
have to make it happen.
So do you take particular runs in purpose because you haven't been there so that you can then get there and then see the country, as you would say?
I personally do. I'm at that point now in my trucking career. I work with Blackburn Energy. Like I told you, I market their product. Please, guys, go check that out. Rolling with Railgen. I'm plugging that right now. Blackburn Energy.
Plug it.
And what I will operate completely independent. So absolutely, I wanted to go to Colorado. I booked a load to Colorado. I got to spend 2 evenings with my son. Went back to California, and now I'm on my way to Florida to take a week off in Key West.
Wow.
So yes, I use trucking.
So you're
It didn't
taking
happen overnight.
you're taking your truck. You've been on a load out of, let's say, Yuma, and you're headed to Florida, and then you're going to take a week or 2 weeks off or whatever, so you can explore Florida, and then you'll book another load to go wherever you want to go next.
That is correct. That's
Boom.
how I work to get my.
I've talked about this on this show about why not get paid to go explore the country?
Right.
Yeah.
Right? It's exactly what she's doing.
Yep.
She's put her kids, she's raised them, they're gone. Why don't I now get paid to move from point A to point B, and then I'll go sightsee for a week, and then I'll get back in my truck and make a little more money and go see the next site.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Jacinda, how often is Indianapolis a destination for you?
Well, if the invite stands, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, don't play.
We'll have you
Don't
in the
play.
studio.
Yeah, we'll have.
I will come. I'm not
Could
playing
you-
with
We're
you.
going to have to make it in the afternoon because I cannot get on the energy level this early in the morning.
Yeah,
My
that's
goodness,
right.
she is on it, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got to make that happen.
Yeah.
I'm staying on the East Coast after Florida. Okay, my son, he's competing in collegiate nationals for the U.S. Air Force.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm going to Ohio March 3rd through the 6th. So I will stay on the East Coast, go by my company until then, and go watch. He does powerlifting.
Oh,
He can
okay.
clean and press 315.
Holy
So
cow.
I'm going to watch that.
could almost
March
pick me
3rd
up.
through 6th.
He's hitting Timmy D.
Yeah, well, that's a good deal. Congratulations to your son.
So
hope he
I will
does
come
well.
through and see you guys. If you're serious,
Yeah,
I will
absolutely.
come.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would love to host a show with you,
Yeah.
market your thing,
Let's
and
do
get
it.
drivers to call in. Like
That
an
would be
open
great.
Table. Okay.
Yeah. That
So I'm
sounds.
going to tell you a little something, can I, about me real quick?
Absolutely.
So I used to do a 3-hour podcast every Wednesday night for about 5 months, okay?
Uh-huh.
And my topic was life, love, trucking, okay? And what I used to do is bring on an entertainment guest. And I had relationship life coaches. I had Lisa Kelly, I had Tony Justice, calling in, Angelica Larson. I'd have people call in, right, and talk. And then I would also provide some kind of resourceful information. For example, the life coach that I like, quote oneself. I had him, I paid for his service like anyone else. And I had truckers drive in and talk about recognizing the difference between alone and being lonely. Don't
Wow.
get suckered, trucking fam. I provided that service on my podcast.
Wow. Why did you stop it? Are you still doing it or?
I did when I left Plycar, as you guys know, my trucking journey out on the road began with Plycar. Were you guys aware of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when I used to haul cars, so I did it there, and then I left to do something else, and it just the time availability.
Yep.
I rolled in a 120 sleeper back then. I had a whole studio set up in my truck.
Wow.
Wednesday night came. One time I
Brilliant.
was rolling. Okay, I was rolling in the truck, and I had the podcast, and my girlfriend Mandy Jo, she was at home. I had her run my soundboard, and I did my podcast through my headset, like right now, driving in Seattle, Washington traffic, while she took my callers and produced my music and my
Nice.
commercials, because I had to keep rolling.
Yeah.
That's
incredible.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You listen to Ship's Gonna Happen podcast show with Miss Lady Trucker on here while she's rolling to Florida to take a vacation getting paid.
So, Jacinda, have you ever hauled 100 monkeys in your truck?
One dude was equal to 100 monkeys. So I
Boom. Dude, from 3. I mean,
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That
that's
was a
Steph
good.
Curry range right
That was a
there.
good
That's what she
answer.
just hit from.
Yeah.
I'm quick with it, guys, in
Yeah.
case you didn't notice.
So,
Did the 100 monkeys, i.e., the person, get loose?
Did he get? Yeah. Did they have to take him down?
No, I left him at the truck stop when I was done.
No. Yeah. Boom. See ya.
That's a whole different conversation off air. I think we need to have right there.
That'd be the next podcast, Jacinda's dating rules.
For anybody that knows me and hears this, true story.
love it.
My goodness, good
Oh
stuff.
my goodness.
So we had a story last week on there was a wreck and with a truck that had 100 monkeys on it and 4 of them got loose, and so we were just going to do a quick update this week on that. All the monkeys have been found, and 3 of them, I think it was 3 of them, they had to put down.
I think they ended up putting them all down.
Oh
Yeah, they put
okay.
the CDC ordered them all. I got the story up here. The CDC ordered them all to be put down. So
okay.
they were lab monkeys, and who knows what they were.
Not humans in this case.
Yeah, no. But there
Right.
was one human that interacted with one of them, and that person is now in lockdown.
What?
And, yeah, and has the pink eye and some heat issues, fever issues, and that monkey is known to transmit through spit herpes.
Oh, but that's
Yuck.
Yeah,
How are you
and
going to touch a wild animal anyway?
That's
like
what
my
she
dog.
told me.
Well,
she thought it was a
hasn't
kitty
bit
cat.
Anybody.
she said she
I don't
thought
know.
it was a cat. And
Oh, come on
yeah.
now.
Come on.
But my
Come on
question
now.
is, the driver didn't really know what he was hauling, and I found
How do you
that-
not know-
I don't know. I found
Miss
that to
Lady
be
Trucker,
odd.
let me ask you this. Do you not know what goes on your truck? You have to know, right?
How do you not know you have? I don't
Thank
know.
you.
I check
Yes.
my loads
Yeah.
and I ask, "What
Yeah.
is it?
He was
what do you
unaware.
guys do here? What am I hauling?"
Right.
Those are requirements by the driver.
Right.
That's our responsibility to know what our freight is.
exactly.
That's what I would think that you would.
Okay.
You know,
It'd be
What
like
is the
me
most
saying, "What are
interesting
you
thing
hauling?"
you've hauled?
Don't speak English. Oh,
no.
What is the most
okay, go ahead. You
what's
know what I mean? Come on now.
Yeah.
What's the most interesting thing you've hauled? Obviously not monkeys, I assume. So what's the most interesting thing you've hauled?
One time, okay, so different things. Obviously, the cars were crazy, exotic cars. Something that I hauled here in my dry van is the lit up animals that they provide at the zoo. That was interesting to me. You know, those larger than life exhibits, like zoo lights and things like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when I took the load, it said lanterns. Okay. I was like, oh, okay, pretty lightweight, 13, 14,000 pounds, picking up lanterns, going to the Oakland Zoo. I was like, okay, probably light load, less fuel. You think about all those things. And I showed up and I was like, wow, it was really awesome. I shared that on YouTube. It was a Chinese producing lantern company. And they piled all these different Noah's Ark. They put into my trailer. Okay, I was watching it like, wow. And took them to the Oakland Zoo, and that was their Christmas light exhibit. That was really cool.
So you made a difference in probably at least Oakland, probably at least 1 million people just by the Christmas lights for them to go look at.
Yeah, awesome.
So that was pretty neat. Like I said, I've done different things.
Bless you.
I'm doing the dry van side now, and this is my first time doing dry van. I started with the difficult stuff, when I was an enclosed car hauler for 2 years with Ply Car, and then I went over to a step deck Conestoga and RGN and flatbed, and I did in my opinion, for me, I tried to make sure, because I don't like to insult anyone, the dry van has been the easiest for me that I did at the end. Does that make sense? I started with the hard shit and worked my way this way.
Did you get to YouTube the dry van and how to actually just do that?
I got to be conscious of how I word stuff, because it's all necessary. And that's the thing in trucking. We all start at the same place. Say we all start in kindergarten. And then you go up through high school and you decide where you want your career to go in trucking. And that's what I try to explain to people is trucking there's many aspects. So decide or try as many things as you can, because that raises your value. Like I know I personally can haul most anything.
Nice.
I've put in my pickup truck. I had a 2021 Trail Boss. I put it in a reefer trailer and took it across the country back home.
Nice.
So things fit. If it fits, it ships, right?
Yeah, I like that. If it fits, it ships. Yeah.
If it fits, it ships. I think that was like one of the first lessons I had when I got in the business when I was 18 years old, and I think probably one of the first things that and the person closest to the task makes the best decision 99% of the time. So those are the two lessons that stuck with me when I was 18 years old and got into it. So speaking of which, if you want to stick around, I think we need to get into topic one about January. I'm sure she's got plenty of good stories about the month of January. You want to get us into the topic there, Tony B?
Yeah, you want to stick around, Jacinda?
Yeah. I'll say yes. Thank you. I'm honored.
All right, here we go. We'll get into David B here, the month of January. Hit us with it, David.
So I just kind of wanted to, we're at the end of January already. January went by pretty quick, but this month just really has not been a great month. I don't know about YouTube and being in the industry, but it's been a tough month. Rates are still ridiculously high. The average cost of fuel right now is $3.68 a gallon for diesel fuel across the United States. And it's just been January's just not starting off for 2022 to be a better month or a better year. It's kind of starting off.
Did you really expect? Did you expect rates to go down? The capacity never lightened. So Q4.
So eventually, yes, but not right now. No.
Second quarter, third quarter.
We have to start doing something about this. This just cannot continue.
Q4 was typically Q4 for trucking companies is a tough quarter. That's a tough quarter, right? Everyone's pre-ordering, everything's there. So Q4 never slowed down. At least where I'm at.
No, it didn't.
Right. Add the West Coast. Maybe Miss Lady Trucker can tell us about this, but the West Coast and the Northwest, they had two huge storms that shut them down for 4 or 5 days, and that doesn't help the cause.
Yeah,
that doesn't help at all.
Today, the Northeast is getting hit.
Another 20 inches or something stupid.
Yeah. And I'm not saying this story as a surprise. I'm just saying it factually that January sucked.
Well, I think the interest rate's going to be going up through the Feds, right? They're going to be raising it. They're trying to. They're going to slow. It's going to slow down, but I think it's going to hit in the second to third quarter. But what we're seeing where I'm at is, like Tim said, the volumes are still there, but it was kind of a slow start to January, I think, due to some of that weather, and then now the volumes have come back significantly where they were before. So. But it, like you said, it's a weird month because companies are starting their new years, they're planning, they're all this stuff. I mean, your
Typically start spending money, right? Q1's the big spend money.
You get it, yeah.
To get you rolling.
And we're still hiring drivers. They said to continue to hire drivers, and some
If
of
they can.
And some of the terminals are staffed, but been told to still hire drivers. So
I've taken on a new role with the company that I work for as far as bulk inbound, and I'm working harder now than I ever have. And kind of this is just
It was tough with the weather, say up in the Pacific Northwest. It was really crappy, but the loads were paying. Okay.
right.
And that's the thing. If people, I don't like the snow, and I'll tell you the truth. I chained for the first time this year. Okay. 7 years driving,
YouTube
and I
it?
chained for the first time up on Snoqualmie.
oh,
on
I
the
know. I've
90.
been there in Washington.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Coming up over the 90, and I had just bought chains.
Yeah.
My chains were in my bags. Okay. And I came up the top, the Snoqualmie Pass, and it said chains required, and everybody's pulling over. And I had no time to think about it. It was just do it. So I pulled over, and I hadn't done it before. And I don't mind being vulnerable. All this time driving, I hadn't done it. And I'm like, oh, crap. Okay. And there was a gentleman doing it in front of me. And I walked over and I said, hey, can you help me get my chains on? And he said, yeah. And he came over and he grabbed them. And I said, no, I don't want you to do it for me. I just want you to vocally, direct me on how to do it. I want to know how to do it. And he said, that's so cool. Yeah. But by the time I got all 4 chains on, they lifted the little, requirement. So I took them right back off and went down the hill. But I could say I done it.
You've been there and done that, right?
Wow.
There you go.
So your month of January, Jacinda, how's it been for you?
Well, I do a lot of different things, and I'm also utilizing the power only section, and I'm still doing well. Okay, that's something. Have you guys ever talked about power only?
No.
It's a tough
No.
market. It's a tough space. Not a lot of people offer that.
It's tough. You have to be smart. If you've ever played chess, that's how I compare power only. Okay,
We're
Because
still
you
on
have to make
checkers at
your-
the Ship's Gonna
I'll
Happen. We're
describe
not
it. You
advanced.
make your move. You book your power only load. Okay, now you got your pawn. What's your next move?
Well, explain
Because you-
explain what that means. What that term means. Break that down for us.
Okay, so power only is if you own, run, or manage a tractor and you don't own a trailer. So there are power only boards out there that you can drop and hook. And for me personally, I'll share with you, I'm going to plug. I'm the face of Convoy, okay? The load board Convoy. I work with them and I'm the face of them. So I utilize their power only section. So I'll go pick up a loaded trailer, okay? And then you have an option to continue to rent that trailer for a couple more days to load it yourself and haul loads to return the trailer to where it needs to go. So you're hauling a preloaded trailer full, and then you can use it for a couple days to haul loads and then get it back to where it needs to go.
Okay.
So
It's
what do you do with your
profitable.
trailer that's on your back that you own? Because you said you own a drive van. So what do you do with that? Do you pay someone to store it in their yard?
What? I don't own any trailer. I don't own any trailer. I only have a tractor.
Okay.
Okay. And when I had a trailer for 3 months, that was part of my plan with Convoy that they let me use for 3 months straight. And then I've just been utilizing power only.
Hey, who's the biggest person that you think that books those loads, like an Amazon because they don't have the drivers, or who do you see probably on there the most that you probably haul for?
Oh, I would say, you mean power onlys? Is that what
Power
you're
only,
referencing?
yep, absolutely.
Okay, I would say Amazon and Schneider. Schneider has a huge power only load board, and I use Schneider to go across the country.
So folks out there, just so you know, so when you see what I would refer to as mix match, when you got a tractor that's completely different than what the brand name is on the trailer, that's probably going to be a power only move, which has got to be a cheaper cost for you. Do you have to insure that trailer then, or how does that work
Man,
on
good
insurance?
question.
Yeah, so you still have to provide your freight coverage, and then also there's an interchangeable insurance that you have to have in order to keep changing trailers. So Schneider their insurance is, their trailer's still insured by them, but we also still have to carry the cargo freight, the insurance.
Right. So you're covering insurance on your tractor only,
Yeah.
and you obviously have liability or whatever on the cargo, but when it comes to the trailer, if a tire blows out on that Schneider trailer, who fixes that? Is that your fault?
Schneider does that. Yeah.
Is
And
that a
then,
contract you have with them, or how does that work?
Like, for example, Convoy is leased with Ryder. So any over-the-road Ryder service will come out and fix your trailer. And the best advice I'm going to give people, besides anything else, is pre-trip your trailer.
Oh gosh, you should have never said
Okay.
that.
We got the pre-trip king.
That's
in
Tim's
studio
middle name.
today.
Pre-trip.
Call me the
Okay.
Pre-trip.
post-trip Nazi too. I'm a post-trip Nazi.
I like to say pre-trip, post-trip, don't trip.
Oh,
You ought to market that.
That's that transportainment for your
That
butt
is
right
right
there.
there.
Shit's gonna happen from
Yeah.
Miss Lady Trucker, boys.
Definitely.
Pre-trip, post-trip, don't trip. And that's for me, I'm a thorough pre-tripper, okay? And there's no problem for me when I need tires changed, a light changed. One time I pre-tripped a trailer, and I'm going to describe it the best I can. It's almost like a T-bar in the back on the frame that holds the mud flaps on the trailer. Can you picture that?
Yeah.
There's a
Oh, yeah.
Okay. When I pre-tripped, there was a ratchet strap holding that up.
Hey, if
And I
it
was
wasn't
like-
duct tape, Ratchet Straps does a damn good
Yeah.
job.
I was like, okay, I'm not taking this trailer.
They YouTubed
I'm
it.
not.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing this. And so that's my biggest advice in, changing trailers. What did they say? Drive it like you stole it. That's power only.
So
be sure to pre-trip your trailer.
I think so. In my opinion, I think post-trip is the most important because if it was post-trip the proper way, that would have been fixed before you got to your pre-trip. Would you agree with that?
Okay. I agree. And what the problem is people have become afraid to document malfunctions or errors.
Because they think it's going to be their fault and they're going to be charged.
Because they're afraid they're going to be charged
Yeah.
for damage.
That's
and
ridiculous.
That's not the case.
That's ridiculous.
yeah.
Me, shit, if I'm dropping it off, I'm going to report everything and leave. But
Yeah, but you're not
you
going to
know what I
report.
mean?
Let's put this into some normal people's hands here, real quick. It's like
Okay.
it's like if you go get a car at Enterprise, right? You're walking through, and when you're doing that pre-trip with that guy that's marking everything down around the vehicle, you want to make sure he's marking every damn thing. You point things out to him. When you drop it off, you're right. You drop it off, drop the keys, and you leave. You're like, hopefully, I don't see anything that I didn't see the first time. Again, you don't want to do the post-trip. You're worried about the pre-trip.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
And my biggest thing is, I don't want to kill anybody. I
Right.
don't want to hurt myself, and I don't want to kill anybody. So take that time. Check your brakes. What I do also is immediately when I get to the trailer, I walk around it and do a complete visual first. Then I'll back up and connect. I hook my airlines, and I start letting that air pressure go into my trailer immediately. I'll high idle, release my trailer brakes, because I don't know how long that trailer's been sitting there. Let me make sure the airbags are going to fill up during that time while I'm doing a visual. Now go back to the guts. I call it the guts. Now look underneath and making sure everything's in place.
Okay, well done. Yeah, well, you're listening to the Ship's Gonna Happen show. We got Jacinda Lady Trucking on with us. She's been a great interview so far this morning. Fellas, you guys got any other topics we want to bring up this morning?
We could bring up a lot of time. I could talk to her for days. I just don't know if I got all the energy. My goodness, she's killing it.
We do a segment of random thoughts. You want to get into
Let's
random
do
thoughts?
random thoughts.
It's for transportainment only, though.
Transportainment. Ship's Gonna Happen podcast. David B.
Random
thoughts by David B.
Random thoughts. Okay.
So,
okay.
so we're going to start with Jacinda this week since we've got her on. And I've been to Yuma, Arizona. It was been a long, long time ago. Jacinda, I got to wonder. I got a couple questions this morning, fellas, but we're going to start with Jacinda. When you get home? Do you got a favorite spot, like to get some good, authentic food, or to get some? What's your favorite meal in Yuma? Where do you want to? When I'm going to get home, and I really want to go here. Somewhere that you want to go in Yuma to get a good meal, or do you have any place like that in Yuma, Arizona?
Straight to get a chilada.
Okay.
You know what that is?
Chalada.
None of us are.
So, I come visit here. I'm going to tell you something else. I don't live anywhere. Like I said, I live in the truck. So when I come to Yuma, my cousins come pick me up. We go have, Mexican food. But chilada is always my go-to. As we know, when you're out trucking, you can't have or really consume any beverages out here.
Right.
So I do enjoy when I can come home and decompress not behind the wheel, for a night or two, and have an adult beverage. And the chilada is my go-to.
What
and in case you don't know what that is,
Yeah, we do.
Clamato. Okay.
Break it down.
So you put clamato, like in our Hispanic culture, clamato is mixed with many, many things, from shrimp cocktails to beer to just straight drinking. So you mix your little clamato with your Bud Light, and you got a chelada.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Have
you ever heard of that?
Didn't Bud Light
No.
come out with? It's like you pour it into another drink, right? Where it's kind of like a beer margarita type deal, right? Am I missing this?
Jacinda, do you know about that?
That's what it
What,
is,
the
right?
Mango-rita?
Yeah, but you basically pour beer into a mixed drink at the end of the day. That's what it is. Is that what you're describing?
Yes.
So you're trying to
And
get
that's
double.
what I love
You're trying to
about
get
it.
double whammy immediately. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Making up for lost time.
Yeah, in the Hispanic culture, we all have whatever. Ours is tomato, right? So we're like, shit, we're going to put tomato in our beer now, too. And it's everywhere.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah.
But in Phoenix, I love going to Danny's Truck Wash. I'm going to plug them. They're awesome. They take care of me, and I do get nice VIP service there. I plug them all the time. And, I try and engage with people there. I've even asked about being an event coordinator, once a month or every couple months when people are parked there on the weekends. Let me organize events. There's a big lot right there. Let's get some horseshoes, some cornholes, some snacks. We can have, the community,
She from Indiana?
donate to having an activity on the weekend at the truck stop.
Let me. I got to go off this random thought real quick because what she just mentioned. You always travel and you live in your truck. How are the lady services out there when you're driving and you need to take a shower? Do you feel comfortable with going in the truck stop and using their showers, or how does the hygiene work for a woman on the road? I feel like this is a man's industry, unfortunately.
Okay.
And
So I'm
it's
going
very
to tell you, when
dominated with
people
men.
usually ask me about safety on the road, that's not my.
I'm not worried that with you. You're a fireball. I can see you being just fine there. I'm worried about hygiene facilities for women at truck stops. Are you good with it?
Yeah, I'm good with it. For the very first time, the night before last, I was at Petro in Ontario, California, and I had to park in the last row, correct, all the way against the back. Well, I'm not walking across the parking lot. So for my first time, I actually detached from my trailer and bobtailed up to the front, took a shower, got some food, and drove back for my safety. I don't think we should be afraid, but, we're outnumbered. And the thing is just being safe. And I jokingly say there's no better time to catch one of us than walking back from the shower, okay?
Yeah.
And I laugh. It's not funny, but you know what I mean?
Right.
So, there's plenty of facilities. Keep your flip-flops on. I wear my gel shoes everywhere I go in every shower. And
does your cab stink like some of these other people? I'm gonna tell you right now, there's some over-road truckers. They need to just air that. Roll the windows down. You get down there, roll the windows down, let some fresh air in. Or do you burn like candles in there? I don't want to I'm just putting it out there.
I have a plug-in and I have a dog, and there's no scent.
What's the
but,
dog's
but in
name?
all honesty, we try to shower every day. Sometimes it's not always permitting. You know what I mean? So, I do my best. I just have to feel safe. Or sometimes, ladies, if you're listening, stop and take a shower in the middle of the day so you can keep
There you
rolling
go.
and you don't have to stop, at night.
Right.
Usually
Great
at
advice.
night, I don't get out of my truck. I'll be honest.
So- I
I'm
don't
not a
blame you.
gallivanter at nighttime.
What's the puppy's name?
Her name is Miles. Jacinda
Miles.
Lady
Oh
Truckin'
my
Miles.
gosh! How many miles does little pup have?
Shit. Almost, 3 going on 3 years of trucking. That's what she's been.
Wow.
That's a lot of miles.
You guys know the story about my dog?
No.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so there's a program called Mutts for Trucks, and it's partnered with TA Petro, Mobile One, Delvac, and Pedigree. And before I did it in September 2019, they were hosting on-site adoptions for truck drivers at TA Petros,
Wow.
sponsored by Mobile One and Pedigree. And so Miles is from Nashville, Tennessee. You guys been to the TA in Nashville?
No,
No.
but been to
I've been in a lot of TAs.
Okay, so that's the
Teaching
Candy
assistants.
Bass Travel Center, and we hosted an event, and that's where I got Miles. For me, it was a nice commercial product that there was a nice compensation for. I didn't want a dog. Okay, in my mind, I'm like, I just got rid of my kids. I'm so free, And then they're like, please, we want you to do this promotion. And I'm like, ah. So long story short, I didn't want her, but I didn't know I needed her. And here we are almost 3 years later. And I couldn't imagine my life without Miles on the truck.
I
now.
just
Awesome.
pulled up that site, Jacinda, and I see you right here on the top page right here. Here it is, putting in the mile.
Yes.
The Duran, and
Yeah.
I've been
Yep.
driving for 5 years now.
So awesome. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
It's a really neat program, and they make it very easy for drivers, to adopt a dog. Obviously they want to make sure you take care of her. I want to say Miles has had the best life of any of them because everywhere I never leave Miles ever.
Mutts for trucks.
That's
Wow.
awesome. You got any other
And-
random thoughts over there, David B, on the Ship's Gonna Happen?
I was just wanted to talk football from, what do you guys think about the game today, the game tomorrow? Jacinda, are you a football fan at all? Do you have a favorite team?
What? Did you say football?
Yeah.
Football. Are you into football?
No. It's solely for entertainment, but I couldn't tell you my favorite team. Oh, this will make you feel good. Another feel good for you. You ready for this?
Hit me.
So I bought one jersey in my entire life. Okay, one for a party. One, and it was for the Colts for Manning. Okay?
Oh,
That's it.
Yeah.
That will immediately get you in the Hall of Fame.
that was a good decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go Colts.
Look, can I stay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to do the Hall of Fame now then, or?
Yeah,
Wow, that's amazing.
Jacinda. So what we have here, Jacinda, is we have a Hall of Fame, HAUL of Fame, and we would like to induct you today into our Ship's Gonna Happen Hall of Fame.
And we'll get
She's
you a
awesome.
shirt. Yep,
Yeah.
I got a shirt.
When you come to Indianapolis, we're going to get you a shirt that says Ship's Gonna Happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
and,
it.
so
Okay.
and we also
Okay.
after the show today, we're also going to go buy some Clamato and some beers or whatever for when you show up to town.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to stop by and see you guys, and I would love to do that. I'm
Yeah.
honored. And thank you for having me.
Wait, hey,
I love talking. I'm very passionate, and I don't mean to mow over. I just have a large personality. But
We
thank
love
you.
it.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Hey, Jacinda, would you mind at some time, if you don't mind, giving us a shout out on social media? Shout out to the Ship's Gonna Happen show. Would you mind
No,
doing
no, no.
that for
Yeah.
us?
Gladly.
Awesome.
Believe me, you see how I do it.
Yes.
I meet kind people, and I'm grateful to share and network.
We're grateful to have you.
Because
Yep.
if something
Yeah.
never happens
We're-
to me in Indianapolis, don't think I'm going to hesitate to call you
Yeah.
guys.
Let's go.
I need
Definitely
help.
do.
We're lucky. We're lucky to have you. We are lucky to have you as a guest
And
today.
that's what I tell people in trucking. That's where the networking is so important.
David
Knowing
B's big on
or
the
being
networking.
Familiar where you're at and with people you might know in that area. That's how we help each other in trucking. You might know someone that can fix this on my truck or get me here, or that's where the communication is so important on the road.
Yeah.
Share your knowledge. No one's going to use your knowledge against you. Share your knowledge
Correct.
amongst each other. Let's keep the industry rolling, right? Literally.
And I'm going to share something again real quick. And this is super important to me, and that might be why I've kind of stayed where I'm at. My belief system hasn't changed. Okay. When I did the Emmys, okay, they wanted me to focus on the women. Okay. Well, a truck driver was on the Emmy Awards because we were essential. We are essential, right? During this pandemic.
We're essential
And
anytime.
I stood by my beliefs because that's how I am. I'm not going to jeopardize commercialization for my beliefs. That's never going to happen. Okay. And what they wanted me to do was say for the women. And I told them, I said, this is not about women right now. I'm on the Emmy Awards talking about trucking, giving recognition and thanks to every human being behind the wheel right now, not women.
Well
they just
said.
looked at
Roger
me.
that.
Yeah, well said.
And I said, yeah, I'm not doing that. And that might be why a lot of stuff didn't come out of it. But you know who was watching, who was most important? My trucking fam. They don't watch the Emmys, but they did that night.
Oh, wow.
And I felt good about it.
That's awesome.
Well, we definitely like to be part of your trucking fam from here on out. If you have
Trucking
us.
fam, you like those?
Hell yeah,
You know
we
what's
do.
And when you come to Indy, hit us up. Seriously.
Yeah. Jacinda, we
The
appreciate.
trucking fam. I love it.
Yeah.
So
We-
I don't have fans. I don't believe in fans. I believe in fam. And
Fams,
that's how I
not
address
fans.
my audience. And I thank people every day for taking time to support my journey. Thank you.
So Jacinda, between now and March, you will hear from me, and we'll kind of we'll kind of do some emails back and forth on when you're going to be closed, and we'll definitely have you in studio.
Will you guys be at Matt's?
Pardon me? Could you
Are
say?
you guys going to the Mid-American Truck Show?
Oh, well, you know what? That's probably something.
Isn't that coming up in February?
Where's it
February
at?
22nd?
Where's it at,
It's in
Jason?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, that's not far away.
It's the 24th through the 27th.
I thought it was 20.
I'll be
yeah.
honest, the inside is good, but if you want to connect to Truckin' Fam, you want to be outside in the parking lot. That's where the good, real shit happens.
Maybe we
okay?
should.
have-
Yeah.
That's where trucker stuff happens.
Write
Good,
that down.
Real shit happens.
So that's February 24th through the 28th?
March.
March.
March 24th. The
Okay.
MATS, the Mid-American Truck Show. Check it out. A lot of us are going. I just posted something the other day asking who's going. Even with everything going on, a lot of people are still going. And what we're focusing on is the parking lot. That's where some of my favorite singers, Taylor Barker, Bill Weaver, Mandy Joe, that's where the personalization is outside. Okay, we all sing, we cook, we hang out, we buy each other stuff. That's where the real shit is.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Okay.
We appreciate you being on the show, Jacinda. Thank you so much for connecting with David and getting on the show today.
I appreciate
you
it.
are one awesome lady.
Jacinda, we love your energy. We love it.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
You are transportainment.
And
Yes.
thanks for doing what you do out there and getting our products safely to the docks and doors of peoples and businesses. We appreciate that, and hopefully,
I leave an experience, not a delivery. Okay.
There
I can
you
promise
go.
you that.
Yeah.
Wow.
an experience. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. You are something else, girl, and we appreciate you getting on today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love
Okay.
you guys, and
Yep.
I look forward to hearing
Best
from you.
wishes.
Hey,
Jacinda.
safe travels.
Thank you, Jacinda.
Okay, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
All right.
Man,
That was
she's a-
freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was freaking phenomenal.
She was a firecracker, man. We're recording, yeah.
Yeah, that was freaking phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah. So football,
Seriously.
David,
she's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
I
So-
tell you what, her energy's
unbelievable, dude.
Wow.
Wish we
Yeah.
had a full staff of drivers like her throughout the
Oh,
country.
my gosh.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Ah, that was so good. So, all right. So today is the Bengals and
Bengals and Chiefs.
So Bengals and Chiefs. So
Yep.
one of the stations I listen to a lot, and for very many years, is 700 WLW out of Cincinnati. And the other night / morning or whatever, when I was going into work, the host kept referring to them as the Bengals, and I'm like, who's not pulling that microphone out of that guy's hand? It's not the Bengals, it's the Bengals. You
Did
are
he-
broadcasting from Cincinnati, and you're getting away with saying
Were,
the-
were they doing it as a
Bengals.
joke, or you
Oh,
think
no.
they were just how they said it?
Yep.
That could be.
Just
It was hosted from.
Now I got
WLW?
no room to talk about how you pronounce the 8 words or what you say, so I'm
Yeah.
going to stay out of that
yeah,
conversation.
just- I'm like, man,
I will tell you this: no offense to all you Bengals fans out there, they are the roughest crowd that I've ever been and seen. They are some evil people.
Really,
They are mean.
that's not good.
I hope they win today.
Worth-
I would love to see them win
be
today.
good, yeah.
One of them to win. I didn't think they'd win last week, but they man, very impressive. Joe Burrow's a damn good quarterback.
I was in Vegas watching that game in a sports book at Caesars.
Did you have money?
Smoking
Bet
a-
on it?
Yeah, of course I did. I
you get
bet
any
on
money?
it. Did I bet on it? Yes, I would have bet on it if I was at the house.
Did you take the Bengals?
No. I took the Titans when they were down by, I don't know, 17, I think it was at one point.
Yeah, they were.
And I went up there and took the money line on the Titans.
Man,
That's what
nice.
I do. You're going to bet small to win big. That's what I do. That's why I lose all my money.
So
But
the Bengals, David, who you taking?
I'd like to see the Bengals win.
I will tell you, the guy that's sitting next to us at the sports book,
Bengals.
he won $33,000.
Did he
Yeah.
Taking the
his,
Bengals?
his buddy lost $20,000.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So who you taking today, Tim?
I want to say the Bengals, but I hate the Bengals, so I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
They're
answer.
playing a tough team, man. Kansas City's
Chiefs
tough.
are peaking at the right time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Dan Mahomes cost me a bunch of fantasy points all year long, and then that some gun gets his crap together on week 14 when it's
Patrick
too low.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a good game.
They're predicted to win 31. The Chiefs 31-21.
And then tomorrow it's the Rams and the Niners.
Then it's the Rams and the Niners, and man, I was shocked that the Rams or the Niners walked right into Lambeau Field and spanked Green Bay. I really, Aaron Rodgers' decision or offensive coordinator, whoever it was, to drop back at 3rd and 12 and throw a bomb that late in the game was not the wisest decision, right? Mm-hmm. So, but did you take Tim? Who'd you take in that game?
What game?
Last week's 49ers in Green Bay.
Green Bay. Green Bay's been the best team all year long.
I know.
I mean,
were you surprised that they?
It was a hell of a weekend for football last weekend.
All away teams won, except one.
It's amazing. Tampa can either play really good or bad, and then you got Green Bay. To me, was even as good as their record was. To me, they're the most unappreciated team in the NFL. They quietly went 12-5 or whatever it was, or 13-4, and I thought for sure there was going to be a butt whooping. I thought Green Bay would win by 20.
How about the Bills kicking it through the end zone with 15 seconds left and not squib kicking it to run time down? That killed them.
Right.
I was too hungover to watch the game. I had flown overnight back into Indy or whatnot, and I was way too hungover to watch that game. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I was coming off of a binger.
Yeah.
And I got a 6-month-old at home. So it was, I didn't get to watch it. The next thing you know, the next morning I wake up, I hear it's best football games ever. I'm like, oh, you son of a gun.
Wow. So, David, you?
Yeah. So,
predictions for Super Bowl?
I don't know. In my head, I'm thinking Niners and Chiefs, but I'm not really sure.
Ooh,
I want to talk
the Niners. Nice.
I want to talk a little bit more about Tim and his Vegas trip. I mean, did you really get to enjoy some part of that trip and have a good time? And I know that Lindsay kind of went out for a day with you, or a couple of days.
Basically a couple of days. So we took that overnight flight. I tell you what, because of the football and everything that was on. I mean, I watched the basketball games. It's just. This is the first time I really didn't spend much time. I did a little poker, which I don't normally do, but I was there all day by myself on Friday because she had to work or whatever, and so I did a little poker, which was nice, and I chilled out in the sports book. It's amazing. I love to sit back in those Caesar's sports book in Vegas. You've never been there. Big old black recliners. You sit back, you feel like a boss, smoking a stogie, having a bourbon,
nice.
And all the TVs right there. Like it's just it's very relaxing. And Vegas, I didn't walk much, and Vegas was pretty packed. It was pretty packed, so it was good to see.
So you stayed at a couple different places, you say? So you started at MGM and then ended up where?
No, Caesars and Flamingo is where I'd stayed at. Okay. So a little further down the strip, and had some really good food and breakfast. There's a place that's owned by a guy out of Indiana called O'Shea's out there. It's called the Hash House. It's upstairs in the Link, I believe. And the place is always over an hour and a half wait, no matter what kind of party you had. We had to wait about 45 minutes just to get a seat at the bar. And they have some phenomenal food. It is just, and it's all after Indiana. There's all Indiana names with the tenderloins and things. It's just all roots of Indiana. So that's cool to see in Vegas, that platform. Yeah. And you've got Indiana in the house, So, it was a good time. It was a really good time. I tell you what, I missed you guys. It's been a few weeks since we got together. So, thanks for allowing me to come back on the Shipsgonnahappen show. And
definitely good to have you back. Last week, Big Lefty filled in for you.
Nice.
I didn't sure if you knew that or not. A couple of your coworkers sent me a picture while they were out there in Vegas. They were in Vegas also, and I told them I both hated them because they were giving me shit over the Purdue loss to IU. So.
I bet on IU straight up. I got it on record. Straight up, money line. Yep. Boom. Yeah. I didn't win much. I bet 20 to win 50 or something like that.
I was with a customer last week, and he predicted that, and I was like, what? 8 years in a row, right?
Merle and Ned.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah. So anyway.
So good Saturday morning, boys. Good show. It was awesome to have her. I can't wait to have her back on. It was fantastic.
Yeah, you might want to warn the rest of the house that it's going to be loud.
Live energy is coming, boys.
Right.
Yeah.
Ship's Gonna Happen podcast. You guys got anything else?
No, what is this, number 2 of the year? Number 2 episode of 2022?
This will be...
It is 2.
Is it 2? Or
It's
2
a-
of 22.
no,
It's 3.
It's 3.
All right, this is show number 3 of 2022.
Tim's missed 2 of the 3. Tim's always... We're going to call him Tim's middle name, Timmy
Hey,
Vacationing.
And I got to cut it short today because I'm going to Butler game right now. I'm getting ready to leave and go to the Butler game.
And
so.
I'm not going to predict the Butler wins.
No, we didn't. I remember Tim didn't miss the helpful trucker. Or the healthy
trucker. Yeah, Tim was here for that. The helpful, healthy trucker.
Got to be something in life, daggone it.
But anyways, thank you guys again, man. It's always fun.
Ship's going to
Great
happen.
show.
Turns entertainment, baby.
Ship's Gonna Happen podcast. Out.